Well, part of the MAHA movement has been calling attention to the massive increase in child cancers across the United States, cancers that we've heretofore never seen in children. Why is the United States such a hotbed of cancers? Does it come right from our food supply, our highly processed food supply, or something else? Well, an underreported part of this surge in cancer rates is also affecting our pets. Our dearest part of our family, that we would be crushed if we had to lose our pets early. What is going on with our food supply? What is going on with this surge in cancers across the United States? Well, two individuals who made it their mission to try to help our pets, try to reverse these cancers, show incredible signs of bringing life back to our four-legged friends. Kurt and Kristen Ludlow, the founders of Pet Club 24/7. Now, we've had them on before a couple of years ago here on the show, and just an overwhelming response from our audience about what they were able to do to help our pets. And we thought, you know what, let's do a deeper dive. Now that we've got RFK Jr. at HHS, now we've got a Trump administration, which we didn't have before. We were still dealing with the Biden administration. And what can we do to make our families and our pets healthier? We decided to invite them back on the show. Kurt and Kristen, welcome back to the show. Great to see you guys.
Thank you. Great to see you as well.
Well, first of all, just at a high level, how excited are you guys that we have an administration now that's embracing these types of tough questions about cancers and these sort of surge that we've been seeing, not just among humans, but in our pet population?
It's so encouraging to see what's happening and how much light is being shed into these areas where there are many voices that have been speaking out for a while, and everyone thought they were crazy. So it's so exciting to see this administration embracing that, asking the same questions, finding the answers, because it's only when we ask those questions and find those answers that we can actually implement solutions and change the way things are happening for the better, for our country and for our households, on a local level.
I mean, you guys have seen these surges in cancers, and I know this has been a big part of why you guys even started your company, a number of years ago. I think most people just don't understand, like, why, like, in the United States, like, where are these cancers coming from? And now that we're seeing them in such young, in a young population, like, what have you guys noticed in your research and over the past few years?
Well, in the 70s, the average age of a golden retriever was 17. Today, that age is 9. And if you look at what's going on with statistics, I mean, as many as 65% of our pets are going to get cancer today. They live long enough, 50% show that they're going to die from cancer. 1 in 3 allergies, 6 million new cases of diabetes every single year. They're medicating them with human medications. And all these things combined with, the foods, treats, and toys that they're eating are causing a lot of these conditions to happen. And so, like the MAHA movement, we have the MAHA movement ourselves, make animals healthy again. And it really truly is just looking into, the foods, treats, and toys that our pets are eating. And so we've done a lot to combat that and put nothing but great ingredients in our product.
So this mission for you started, I mean, at a personal level. Can you talk about, the friends and family that you were seeing who were seeing their pets being devastated by these diseases? And were you able to track it down to our food supply, or was it something else?
Yeah, we were able to track it down. It's primarily been the food for both people and pets. The same thing that's happening to people is happening to pets. They're compromising, they're exchanging quality ingredients for fillers. Most of the foods now are synthetic, artificially sourced. Their bodies don't know how to metabolize that or process it when they're eating it. So they're fighting against the very food that we're giving them to keep them alive. But it goes even further than that. A lot of the chemicals that we clean with and put in our yards and around our house are being absorbed directly into their bloodstreams. There's so much that they're exposed to that's weakening their immune system, and their immune systems get so weakened to the point where these horrible things can take over their bodies and ultimately take their life. And you really hit the nail on the head when you said a little earlier that in pets, those conditions are not reportable. So it could even be higher than what we know. That's just the data based off of what we know. But they do not report all the instances of that. So this is a really big problem. And just like what's happening with the administration in the human sector, we have to look into the pet supply sector as well and really examine what's going into these foods? What are these animal byproducts that we're finding euthanized animals and roadkill and animals that are too sick for human consumption being sold to pet food manufacturers at a discount? Why are they charring the kibble? They're cooking it at 400 degrees to make it faster so they can produce it faster, but it's charring the kibble and it's full of carcinogens. And many people, that's what our pets are eating every day of their life for every single meal. Carcinogens. And then we wonder why we have all these issues.
And then you get, just like we deal with like big pharma, you're dealing with like the big food dog food companies, right? So there were a couple of like natural dog food companies that we trusted a couple of years ago, and then you find out that they've been bought up by some of the big conglomerates, and then they changed the formula from like natural ingredients to basically like grocery store garbage. And in order to speed up the process to get this stuff on the shelf and make it way cheaper for them to produce. So a lot of these sort of like natural dog foods that people were buying that were like, I love this brand.